It's a Shanks! It's a Shanks for After Party! Shanks and Buggy Legend Dual Unit is coming for the 9th anniversary After Party. And in today's video, we're going to be breaking down Shanks and Buddy the same old. Yo, what is going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back for another OPTC video. And in today's video, we got some information on 2 new legends that are literally coming in like 2 days' time over here on OPTC for the 9th anniversary After Party. And one of those legends is a dual unit Shanks and Buggy from the Marineford arc. We're going back in time to Marineford now, apparently. And in today's video, we're going to break down this particular character. So, huge shout out to Twitter, over on the OPTC Twitter. They did release this information, the infographic, all the fun stuff there. So, if you guys want to go check out the video and stuff like that, you can. It's not as exciting as like New Year's and anniversary, but like for me, Shanks Legend, always very, very exciting. Their captain ability, Reunited Apprentices, reduces crew special charge by 2 turns at the start of the quest, boosts Psi and Dex characters' attack by 5.25, HP by 1.2, type effects and normal effects for Psi and Dex are increased by 1.1 times, so this is like a 5.75 times captain, and makes Psi, Dex, tandem slots have magic slot effects, heals 1 times there's recovery for every perfect at the end of turn, and whenever a character uses a special to boost type effects, will extend the duration of that type effect by 1 turn. Now, this is their dual form captain, obviously. We don't know what their standalone captains are going to look like. I'm assuming that Shanks is the Psi variation, and then Buggy is Dex. They should both still boost Psi and Dex in their captains. The type effectiveness might be a little bit lower, or might not even be there. The attack boost is definitely going to be lower, and then Shanks might make Psi tandem, and Buggy might make Dex tandem. The perfect taps, that's probably going to be with one of them, and then the extending might be with another one as well. So the way that they kind of function is they're built around color affinity buff, and they do synergize very, very well with a couple other characters, which we'll touch on in a little bit. But let's take a look at their special as well. Let's do this for you guys so you guys can actually see it a little bit nicer. As you can see here, this is the character. They're a final tap legend as well, so they are a regular batch final tap. They're a slash and driver in their final form, and they have critical, like I said, final tap, and then they have the reduction of special limit, which is actually a very good limit break. Not many characters actually have that, but their special reduces crew's paralysis and attack down by 7 turns, locks the crew slot for 1 turn, boosts type effects and normal attacks for Psi and Dex by 2.5 for 2 turns, and becomes Shanks and Buggy for 3 turns. If the crew has a type effect boost for 2 turns or less when the special is launched, they boost the type effect to 2.75. And if the crew has a type effect boost for 3 turns or more when the special is launched, reduces the duration of the type effect boost by 2 turns, and then further increases it by 0.75. So, very, very good ability. If you are running 2 of them, they will obviously increase the color affinity to 3 turns, which then the second one can reduce it down and then bring it up by 0.75. So the idea here is that if you're running 2 of them, it will give you a color affinity boost for like 2.75, and then I imagine that it would reduce it again. So this could be a 3.5 times color affinity boost, just depending on how the buffs work. If the plus buff is overridable, then it'll be 3.5. Otherwise, it'll be a 3.25 color affinity boost. But some other characters this works exceptionally well with is Goldie Roger and Rayleigh Gaban. If you run Shanks, Buggy, Rayleigh Gaban, and Roger now all together, you have a lot of utility with paralysis and attack down removal. You have special bind removal on top of the despair removal that Roger can bring. Plus, Roger is a color affinity booster at 2.25 for 3 turns. So Shanks and Buggy will reduce that to 1 turn, but then turn the color affinity into a 3 times color affinity. On top of his 3.25 times attack and the orb boost that Rayleigh Gaban gives. Like, the 3 of these units just goes absolutely crazy for something like a Psi team, and both Psi and Dex as well. Very interesting that they're a slasher driven. I like that they're slasher, but I don't love that they're driven. They're not really going to be seen too much on, obviously, class teams, but it is something to note. This is their captain ability again. Their crewmate ability makes Psi, Dex characters tandem orbs have matching slot effects, and then their other crewmate makes Psi and Dex character stats increased by 100. They obviously have a switch ability and a super swap, and their switch ability gives themselves a tandem orb through block and applies a minus 15% resistance for Psi and Dex. This is awesome. However, for colors, it's not that great because you can't like double stack it, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. And their super switch changes their own slot and adjacent, including block into tandem, and gives 30% resistance for Psi and Dex for 1 turn. So resistance is very, very strong. Enemy can't avoid it. And if you've seen something like what Sop Sop can do, this is not as good, but it's definitely something that's very, very handy. Their final tap Sugo on the final stage sets all defense to 0 for 1 turn and boosts damage dealt to defense down enemies by 2.5 for 1 turn, increasing base stats by 1000. That can be stacked. Their final tap's kind of mid. Nothing too crazy there, but the extra buff, if you can get it onto a team, is quite nice. Or just using it to sort of like big nuke damage at back-ended with whatever like unit you're using in terms of either Buggy or Shanks. So a very interesting character in regular play. I do think they will see some play with like the Roger Rayleigh Gaban build. But we'll have to wait and see what obviously the content throws in front of us. The kind of downside to this unit is it's a Shanks, to be honest. It kind of directly coincides with Shanks crew, and we'll definitely talk about that once we get to their Rumble abilities, because their Rumble kit does seem incredibly good. So we'll have to wait and see how they go in actual Rumble. But as you can see here, they're on a 32-second cooldown. Their stats are they're okay. They're an attacking style and they're a slasher driven in their dual form, so that's what they are in Rumble. Their special at level 10 targets enemies within a large range for defense down level 5, speed down level 5, attack down level 5, and then targets all enemies with attack of 3.6. So nice that it hits all enemies. That's including the units hit defense down. So that's always nice. And this is a lot of extra damage. Like it's a big chunk of damage. Their Rumble ability at level 5 is based around slashes, which again kind of sucks because like Shanks crew is very good in PvP and they're obviously slasher booster. But you get HP up level 5, attack up level 5, crit up level 6, and when striking a critical hit, gives themselves attack up level 2 up to 3 times. So back to that sort of crit meta. As for their GP stat, their burst, you need to deal 55,000 damage. This is like almost identical to Roger, where he has to take 55,000 damage. And what this unit does is it targets team for half stat reduction by 30 seconds, targets sign-in type enemies for attack down level 10, defense down level 10, and then targets all enemies for 2,000 fixed damage. Seems like this is just a straight Roger counter. Like, they've literally just gone, alright, Roger's a problem in Grand Party, let's create a character that can do something that just negates what Roger does. And this unit pretty much does that. The condition is literally the complete opposite to what Roger has. So if you deal out 55,000 damage, and the enemy gets their burst, you all have to have your burst because you've done 55,000 damage. The only time that this won't overlap is on the second turn if you pop it before them. But the idea here is to pop it after them, so you remove the half stats, and then you give defense down and attack down to Cyan Int characters, which also have a lot of very good half statting units like Moria and Top Musica. So pretty interesting burst ability, very easy to get, and their leader skill is for Slashers, Dex, and Psy characters. Slashers get attack up level 4, CT speed up level 2, and then Dex and Psy get attack, HP, crit, % up level 4. So a very good array of buffs there. Slashers are actually insane in Grand Party. They work incredibly well, whether you run the speed Slashers or you run the chonky Slashers. This is going to be an awesome chonky Slasher build. Plus, with this particular character, you actually kind of have the option to run 2 Slasher teams, which is kind of interesting to think about. However, Dex are obviously insane. Psy can be very, very good in Grand Party. I don't love Psy. They're kind of like a coin flip, but in Grand Party, they hold a lot more viability as RNG is a little bit of a lower aspect. So, in Pirate Rumble, like, they're super good. I think their biggest problem is they're going to have to compete with Shanks crew. And I think for most of the time, if you're running Slasher teams, that Shanks crew is probably going to be the character that you want to put on the team. But all in all, it's a Shanks legend, and I'm excited. Shanks and Buggy, the same old, is coming on what is it, the 10th of the 6th for my time, so 9th in game, and this character does seem to be the treasure map banner as well as the PKA banner as well. But if you enjoyed the video, bell the like button, let me know your thoughts and opinions of the character in the comment section below. While you're down there, bell the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff for me. Most importantly though, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.